be sprinkled in like normal commentary. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest, I was really debating whether or not to do a response to his response, but like, everyone else is covering this crash out, so why wouldn't I, the subject of said crash out, cover it myself? Like, there's currently a resolution in Congress to, like, disavow Hassan Piker, the same thing that they did to Nick Fuentes, disavowing private citizens for what they said on the internet. What are we doing here? Does our government really have nothing better to do? Like, there is so much going on in the country right now, so much going on in the world right now. I feel like decades worth of news happens, like, every week. Every day there is a breaking story of the most insane stuff you've ever heard in your life. Everyone is expected to have a fully formed opinion immediately. But the reality is, when a story first breaks, you're probably not seeing the full picture. And that's why, for 5 years now, I have been using
today's you guys watch me.
Sponsor, Ground News.
That's why you
so let's
watch
quickly give them a shout out before we dive into today's reaction and video, shall we? When you browse the news, you will probably arrive at completely different conclusions, depending on what outlet you see first. For example, if you saw this headline first, you might think things are going according to plan and the war may be over soon, and this is just a smart pressure tactic to get the deal done. However, if you saw this headline first, you might think that things are going to escalate. And if you saw this headline first, you might think Trump is going crazy and probably is not emotionally stable enough to even be the president. Three headlines, three completely different conclusions. And that's why today's sponsor, Ground News, is so important. Ground News is a website and an app designed to make reading the news easier and more data-driven. Every day they pull in thousands of stories from all around the world, and each story comes with visual breakdowns of political leanings and ownership bias. Let's go back to that story to see it in action. Right away, you can see that 117 outlets covered this story. That's a lot. You can also see the bias distribution chart for the story. The coverage was pretty even all across the political spectrum. And under that, you can check the overall factuality and ownership. You can even see who broke the news first, which is pretty cool. But one of my favorite features of Ground News has to be broke the news.
Makes my life happier. Please help me find Molly.
Got too much shit to worry about gossip.
first, which is pretty cool. But one of my favorite and ownership. You can even see who broke the news first, which is pretty cool. But one of my favorite features of ground news has to be the blind spot feature. It is so fun. It basically shows you news stories that have been covered by one side of the political spectrum, but ignored by the other. For example, here's a story about how the US government wants Google to share data on an unidentified Canadian Trump critic.
Oh, that's
bizarre and dystopian. 32 outlets covered this story, 22 were left-wing, and only 2 were right-wing. That's insane. I am definitely going to read up on this. I've been using Ground News for years now. It is one of the first apps I check in the morning. It really helps me digest all the news better and helps cut through all the noise. But don't just
I just look at Twitter. I look for where's the most racist anime profile picture? Okay, what does he think? Yeah. True.
My word on it. The Nobel Peace Center called it an excellent way to stay informed, avoid echo chambers, and expand your worldview. Best of all, I'm currently offering 40% off their Advantage plan, which is the plan I use to access all their amazing features. So go to ground.news/shoe or use the QR code here on screen, or use the link in the video description down there. Big thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad. I can always count on you. Right? And now, without further ado, let's get back to this video. So I thought it would be fun if someone joined me responding to this, because it is so ridiculous. I needed somebody to like bounce off with, because I felt like I needed some like emotional moral support, because I feel like I'm going insane watching this. So I am joined here today with the lovely Smug Alana, the VTuber, everyone's favorite Oshi.
Hey guys, I'm a JPEG and I would bow, but I can't, so just pretend I am doing it right now.
No, nice bounce.
I mean, he'll get the views in, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, you were on the last Shoe on Head video.
Oh, I know who Alana is.
Myself,
I know her.
Bring that shit up in here, okay?
Uh-oh.
Why? What do you want me to do? Myself in the shit up in here, okay?
Uh-oh.
Why? What do you want me to do? Myself in the face, not die in the process, but at least lose significant chunks of my brain so I can operate at the same substandard, suboptimal IQ level that Shoe on Head and her dumb audience operates in, so I can do a regular response to that? Is that what you want me to do?
Why is he so mad?
Still has yet to bring up anything.
Zero points.
Like,
Zero points address.
How many seconds in are we?
I basically made the same joke in my video about like giving myself brain damage so I could understand. Trying to follow the logic here. Let me just give myself some brain damage. Imagine being that chatter, like, hey Hassan, did you check out this video? Do you want me?
Ooh, look at me. I'm an emo girl and I change my politics all the time. Ooh.
Time out. Emo?
Yeah.
I wasn't even gonna bring that up. No.
The thing is that, like, I mean, he should know this. He's like my age. Like, there's a difference between goth, emo, and scene. You would say that Shoe on Head would be like a scene girl adjacent, like almost hipster style 2011. That's really where it is. It's not emo. Like, that's not, what are you, fucking retarded? Of course not. Hassan is much older. Yeah, he's like, what, 46 now, right? Something like that? I forgot.
Hold on. For me, it's the wild way that he frames having nuanced opinions, like, depending on the subject. Like, God forbid you disagree with Hassan Piker, the arbiter of correct opinions of the internet.
I do not have that many videos. I have like 100 videos in the span of like a decade. You could go randomize and click on any of those videos, and you wouldn't be able to tell if it was made today or 10 years ago, which honestly I shouldn't be bragging about, but okay, my point is I haven't changed that much, and the things I have changed my mind about, I'm very open about. The way he's framing people.
The worst part about that is that you can go back 20 years for me and do the same thing, and you will see an obnoxious, annoying 16, 17-year-old kid. Not a single thing has changed. Literally the same obnoxious, awful person.
changing their minds, changing their political opinions over time as like a bad thing is bizarre, especially as a guy whose goal is, I assume, to change people's mind politically. He's totally for people changing their minds politically, but only when they change their mind to agree with him. He supports people changing their mind as new information presents itself. He supports iDubbbz apologizing for the crime of being funny 5 years ago. But when it comes to me changing my mind, I'm like...
By the way, I heard he broke up with his wife. Did that happen?
Like 3 things over the course of a decade? Yeah. That's bad. Like, yes, I've changed on a few things, obviously. From the ages 23 to 35, yes, your opinions are gonna change a little sometimes.
No way, really?
Like, you probably don't believe the same things you believed, like, 10 years ago.
No, absolutely not. Well, I think in that video that you talked about, I don't know, I remember, like, a couple of months ago, you were like, I had a baby, and then I lived in the city, and then I was like, man, maybe safety and putting money into the police isn't that bad, you guys. And maybe that was different when you were, like, 20 or 25.
Exactly. Like when I was living in like sheltered suburbs, I was like, ACAB, f the police. And then you live, and then you're an adult with a child, and you live in the city, and it's like, oh, actually, no, we need more police.
I think it was the body cams. That's what really kind of let everybody knew what was really going on. Is like everybody says like, oh my God, they're doing all this crazy shit to the minorities, and then you watch a video, and it's somebody running away. They won't give you their name. They're trying to kick out the window of the cruiser. You have to put them in the paddy wagon. They shit themselves on the way to the station. They won't tell you they've got a knife in their pocket. You've got to figure it out, and then you put them in there, and they're screaming at you all the way over there. Like, it's just fucking annoying, man. Like, and you really get a different level of respect for the police. I think it's really the body cams that, like, I mean, that was the biggest fucking Uno reverse of their lives. Like, after we saw the body cams, all that ACAB shit, all that fucking police or racist shit, that was gone.
Never mind.
I just confuse terminally left right-brained people. I always have. Hyper-partisan people absolutely hate me because they can't just like put me into a neat little box and then smash that box with a hammer. Hassan usually can hand-wave away critics like, oh, they're just an Israel shill, they're just a Zionist. He can't do that with me. He hand-waves them away by calling...
He can. He's just gonna say that you're an emo girl.
Them neocons or neoliberals. He can't do that with me. Alt-right incels... He can't do that with me. So what does he do?
The thing is that, like, this is the implication that, like, he has to operate inside of the realm of truth. What if that's a false premise? No, he doesn't.
He malfunctions and starts calling me emo. Emo. Like, okay, man, you got me. Emo is when eyeliner, I guess. In the hyper-partisan mind, it is completely impossible to hold several non-contradictory opinions at the same time. Like, wanting free healthcare, but also wanting a strong border. Like, to me, those aren't contradictory whatsoever. In fact...
They're mutually exclusive. You can't want both.
That works together. You don't want to override your healthcare system, right? Your focus should be American citizens. Like, in their mind, like, Denmark doesn't exist, right? They think, like, oh, if you think unions are important, you must also be for minors having HRT. Like, no. If you believe in public transportation, you also have to believe in abolishing prisons. Like, No. Sorry, no. I don't know how my ideology is confusing. I don't know how they see that as, like, flip-flopping or being a grifter. When to me, it's, like, completely normal, common sense stuff. Like, you can't...
Goy. You scoy them. I mean, you can't even really hold it against them, honestly. I mean, they're born that way. It's not even their fault. Yeah, I mean, like, really, you can't... That's just the way they are.
have a country in decay like this. You can't. It will not be fixed by people like Hassan telling young men not to aspire for anything and saying stupid shit like telling people it's cool to steal.
Would you steal from Whole Foods?
I'm pro stealing from big corporations.
Like, what in the fucking LARP is that? Yeah, stealing is so cool, dude. Let's just steal from big corporations so those big corporations move out of that community, and then that community turns into a crime-ridden, unsafe shithole ghost town and a food desert. Like, yeah, bro,
you're that on racism.
You're really fighting the man. Listen, you can tell people that billionaires are the real enemy until you are blue in the face, and it might be true, but Jeff Bezos is...
Everybody has the courage to hate the top 1%. But who's brave enough to hate the bottom 1%? That's the real... Everybody has the courage to hate the top 1%. But who's brave enough to hate the bottom 1%? That's the real problem. Me? That's right. Those are the real problem, boys.
The one stabbing them on a train, you know? You can't have a peaceful, functioning, socialist, or even social democratic society with the delusional social policies of Hassan Piker. You just can't. Anyway, sorry,
it's because all of their entire worldview is based off of virtue signaling and making themselves feel good. Obviously, you can't have open borders while at the same time you let anybody get health care. Because then everybody's going to come there and get health care, and the hospital isn't going to work. Duh. But nobody wants to think about this because it's not about an ideology. It's about using these words and saying these things to indicate you're part of an in-group. It's like Hail Hydra. At least that one made more sense.
Going on a tangent. It's just so funny he sees my politics as, like, incoherent, when to me his politics are the ones that are incoherent. The video was barely political. My response to him was about his, like, nihilistic mindset when it comes to young men. Because for years, we had to watch the media shove this guy down our throat like he was the Joe Rogan of the left. Oh, he was gonna save young men from the alt-right pipeline. By the way, this guy is never going to be the Joe Rogan of the left, because, like, Joe Rogan, at least
I would argue that people like Hassan lead more guys towards being alt-right, you could say. And the reason why is that there are these very blatant and glaring hypocrisies. Things like, for example, encouraging stealing. Everybody knows he's never going to steal. So it's like, why are you telling people to do this? Or like, oh, well, everybody should be, people should be taxed more. And like, you live in like a huge house. Like there's a problem where like you have these like dramatic, huge character flaws that contradict your ideology directly. And in the process of that, I think that you do invalidate a lot of criticism that people have you do invalidate a lot of what you're saying because people just look at that and they say, well, if you really believe this, why don't you live this way? And if you don't live this way, then you don't really believe this. It's really just that simple. Like, I mean, I think honestly, like it's a very good indicator. Like if people don't live a certain way, they probably don't really believe what they're saying.
Rogan from years ago, I don't know about now, was all about listening to other people's beliefs and hearing other people's opinions. Hassan does not do that. Hassan closes his ears and goes, la la la, I can't hear you, you're stupid, I'm smart. For years, we had to listen to how this guy is gonna push young men away from the GOP. They are leaving the GOP, but they're not going to the Democrats, and I don't know if they're going to the left either. But anyway, my video was not political. In fact, the only part that, like, was political was the part where I agree with Hassan about the genocide in Gaza.
If you're a gamer, you should care about things that you actually experience.
Very weird coming from a guy who understandably wants everybody to care about a genocide that is happening across the ocean.
My point there was, you can't be telling young men to only care about things that directly affect them, and then make it your life mission to tell those same young men to care about things that don't directly affect them.
Yeah, it's because it's just Muslim identity politics. That's it. I've said it before. Hassan will always fall off on the side of defending Islamic terrorism. Every single time. That's why he identifies as a Muslim, except he's going to brothels and he's going around, eating bacon. As far as I know, drinking alcohol. He has a dog. That's all it is. It's literally just anti-West Muslim identity politics.
Want me to lose?
That's the way it is.
Chunks of my brain. Do you want me to John Fetterman myself so I can understand the compelling argument the Shuon head makes? One that should have been left in the dustbin of history all the way back in 2016.
As if opinions from 2016 aren't still here today that are good.
Literally, technically, I mean, I'll put my stats on the screen. I am literally more relevant today than 2016. Like, more people are watching. So these aren't opinions from 2016. These are opinions from now, Hassan. People disagree with you now.
Look at me. As an emo girl, 4chan guys who are now 38 years old want to fap to me.
Wait, 4chan guys want to fap to me? Wait, I thought it was super cool and progressive to have like an army of men who simp for you online. That's not very woke of you, Hassan.
First of all, I like how you used the word fap.
Nobody actually respects a lot of these sex workers. Nobody does. That's the truth. And that's the reason why, at the end of the day, when people get pushed comes to shove, they actually get pressed on it. They will use that as an insult. It's because they don't actually respect them. They do it as like a form of performative feminism. But you don't use an insult at somebody and then say that you support that work. You don't do that. I respect all sex workers. I usually don't. I don't call them like, I never do that. Of course I do.
That's so old, isn't it? Is it gooning now?
Yes, it's gooning. Come on, get with the times. It should have been left in 2016, Hassan. Come on.
Respect them titties, yeah.
If this was said by anyone else, he would be calling it misogynistic and sexist, but it's being said by someone with the hive mind approved opinion, so it's okay. It's called dark woke, Chud. We decided to become more hypocritical and annoying. You wouldn't get it. If I was getting paid for men to fap to me like many of his friends and ex-girlfriend porn star do for a living, that would be fine, he would support it. But since I don't do that and I'm just like a normal YouTuber, it's a way to insult and degrade me. It is interesting though how Hassan uses unfuckable as an insult to hurl towards men and fuckable as an insult to hurl towards women. I think it was Bell Hooks that once argued that patriarchy harms men by reducing their worth to status and conquest, while women are harmed by being reduced to only their desirability and being—
It's because that's the way biology is. It's the way it works. And it doesn't matter how many books you write about it. It's still just that's going to be the way it is. And people get mad about it, just get mad all they want. But like at the end of the day, that's the way it is. People get mad. Everybody gets mad. People hate reality. They don't like it. It makes them mad.
Conquered. You should not be getting feminism mogged by someone who does not call themselves a feminist, Hassan. Not a good look, buddy.
I'm the biggest feminist.
And also, bro, you thirst trap more than I ever have in my entire life. You are on the cover of GQ. You are on the cover of GQ in a
Wait, I don't think Alana knew what that was. I don't think she knew.
Tub. I will put the picture up there as censored as I can.
Yeah. She didn't even know.
To shield everyone's eyes. Like
little rubber ducky on his
man.
You are spread eagle in a magazine. Let me read this to you. Let me read what this journalist said. Are you ready for this? Here's how Hassan Piker starts each day, working out, shooting the shit. It's Monday, 8:30 a.m. and we're in the backyard of a house in West Hollywood where there's a makeshift private gym with benches, pull-down machines, and dumbbells galore. This is where 34-year-old political influencer keeps his thirsted after body fit.
Wow.
What? By the way, written by a male, too. And I'm just like, I would have thought it was, yes, I'm pretty sure.
He strips his shirt off. An army of girls and gays would kill to be where I am now, next to Piker as he pants in a pair of neon shorts with black Calvin Klein boxers poking out.
The socialist, by the way.
This is really gay. This sounds really gay to me. Sounds super gay. Please explain what JQ is, the Jewish question. It's about whether the Jews control the world.
Sunlight glistening off the sweat beading on his chest hairs. So when it's women and gays thirsting after you, then it's a good thing. But God forbid straight men find you attractive. This is the dude that has to keep his girlfriend a secret, like some kind of K-pop star, so he can like be e-boyfriend for his parasocial female fans. I'm always talking about being married. Like when I'm in a relationship, I'm talking about being in a relationship, whatever.
If I was a streamer, I would always lie about being in a relationship. I would, especially if I was a girl. But like, even as a guy, like I've already been through a handful of like public relationships. I learned my lesson.
Not the one playing e-boyfriend.
You're covered up. You can make the argument with me. When people say like, oh well, she's just a camera.
For me, it's different because like, and I think also like now it's different because like I really do operate inside of my own space. Nobody else wants to have anything to do with me. Nobody likes me. Nobody wants to talk to me. Everybody hates me. And I think to myself, finally, I've got some peace. Thank God. Jesus, bro, this is so relaxed. Oh, man.
Animate. Okay, fair point. However, Shu doesn't even like have anything that she wears in her YouTube videos that are like revealing. Yeah. Like she's very moderate.
People, wait, hold on, sorry, my dad is calling. Wait.
Dad, put me on the phone with him. Hey, we're busy. The left in a MAGA body, bro. That always stuck with me.
A progressive mind in a MAGA body.
That was just sad.
What do they even mean by that?
Big attractive.
It means that all of the leftist guys are fat losers. And all of the right-wing guys are like guys that are attractive and go to the gym a lot. That's literally what they're saying. They're saying that like this mindset is for fat losers. And it's their own ideology. Like, why would you say that about
eating healthy and working out is right wing? Yeah. What the f are we smoking?
For like a good 3 years, there was this really weird campaign to make Hassan Piker like the face of progressive masculinity in a bizarre attempt to move men to the left. A progressive in a MAGA body, they said, which like, what the
changed
did they mean by that? Yeah. Hey guys, we're not all ugly dysgenic freaks. Look, there's one of us who's attractive. What? Mr. Piker's success on camera, in some part, has been aided by the fact that he is, by conventional standards, a very handsome man. He is 6 feet 4 inches tall and built.
Keep that in mind every time you look at it. Look at his shoes, by the way. Like, it's crazy. He's a tall guy already. Why do you have to wear basically, I mean, there are high heels shorter than that. There are.
Like a professional athlete, a square jaw, a beard, and a head of thick, dark hair.
Yeah.
It's the one aspect many of my haters can't shake, Mr. Piker said of his appearance in a Twitch broadcast last year. They can't turn around and be like, you're not hot. Indeed, tens of thousands of viewers may watch his videos for his political views, but many also tune in for their view of Mr. Piker himself, whose social media profiles are littered with suggestive images of his muscly body in states of undress, or thirst traps, as the pictures are known. Some of his fans scrape, screenshot, clip, and repackage them into fan cams that travel across the internet, glorifying Mr. Piker's appearance and indirectly his beliefs. That is yet again another mainstream article saying one of the only reasons people watch Hassan is because he's attractive, and that he uses his appearance and thirst traps to gain a following. So is he like projecting onto me? Is that what this is? Is he like insecure about his thirst traps and his reputation of being nothing but eye candy? And listen, I
think that the more that you try to play off of anything like that, you're gonna have people that don't like you. And also, this is what happens. There are so many e-girls that were really popular 10 years ago, and now they're not. Why are they not popular? We all know why. Everybody knows why. That's the truth. And so you never want to play off of that. Yeah, bro, like we all know. I'm not going to name any names because we all know who they are.
Not delusional, okay? Obviously, your looks can help take you further in life, online and offline. Like, if I was morbidly obese or hideously ugly, I probably wouldn't have, like, half the following I have. You can easily say the same thing for Hassan. But at least I organically collected my simps. I didn't have some, like, astroturfed glaze fest propping me up for years as some kind of, like, political...
Yeah, she was getting reposted on 4chan with guys confusing her for boxing. That's how you do it. That's the real way to do it. I remember this really well. So well. It was like 2011, 2012. And oh yeah. Remember that?
X symbol. Embarrassing.
I was one of the people that subscribed
now
then, too.
38 years old want to fap to me.
38. You mean 3 years older than us, Hassan?
Now 38 years old want to fap to me.
38. You mean 3 years older than us, Hassan?
Yeah. Oh my god, the people that are in my demographic.
And what's so funny is like his little fangirls were coming at me on Twitter like, you're nearly 40 and you dress like a Hot Topic cashier. Like, and Hassan and I are the exact same age. I think we're a month apart in age. And like, look how he dresses. We are literally co-workers at the Hot Topic, okay?
People like Shuonhead are basically a humanoid version of a Reddit aggregator.
Reddit hates me.
Literally 80% of his audience are Redditors. Are we for real right now?
Bro is loved on Reddit. Like, why didn't he say 4chan or Twitter? He's not even funny.
Yeah.
Like, he can't even banter or do the jokes correctly.
Unironically, I think this entire rant, this clip, really just sounds like if you were just to post the question, what do you think of Shuonhead on r/politics, and then read the comment section?
Yes.
It's just angry Reddit-coded malding. You wanna know the worst part? This is the best thing you could come up with. This is the best you could do.
Jesus Christ. What an unbearable way to exist, dude. Oh, I'm getting all my politics from Shuonhead. If you're getting your politics from a person like Shuonhead, you should be
There's a video about a video game, by the way.
Embarrassed.
What do you mean, get your politics from Shuonhead? I don't expect my audience to get their politics from me. I expect them to be entertained, to laugh, to think, to engage with the discourse at hand. I don't try to, like, pass off as someone you should get your politics from. I don't think my audience should get their politics from me or any YouTuber for that matter. I think they should do their own research, come to their own conclusions. I just say my opinions, and people are free to agree or disagree. Hassan, on the other hand, like, really thinks he's some serious political commentator. Bro, you're a Twitch streamer. I'm a YouTuber. But that's the difference between you and I. I know what I am.
Oh my god, the things I want to say to people like this.
Then say it.
Say it, pussy. Did he change into a suit because I made fun of his Gucci shirt?
Like, you can literally see him scanning his chat of domestic terrorists, like Redditor for insults, right?
This is so lazy.
I find it more compelling when someone deconstructs why you're being stupid. I swear, I think if he had an audience that thought it was okay, he would obviously bring up that you're a girl. Stupid woman! It's like he's fighting his bro, like, instincts.
He's reverting back to bro tips, Hassan Piker.
Yeah!
Going back to factory settings.
This week's bro tip is about bringing out the alpha male in you. This is a classic example of what happens when your father doesn't pay attention to you. You turn out to be a slut who's craving for attention, and then I tend to pick you up at a bar late night and bang you out on the first date.
All his insults I've already 8-miled him on, because I've already made fun of the fact that my eyeliner is from 2008. I'm in no position to talk about style. I still do my makeup like it's 2009. I already made fun of the fact that you shouldn't get your politics from me. If you were going to Shuonhead for political information, you are deep fried.
He never self-insults. Like, you can make jokes about yourself. Like, I've joked about a million times, like, oh, I'm a 400-pound man behind an avatar. Like, it's funny. Like,
they
who gives
all are.
I feel like just takes himself way too seriously. The most popular streamers, every single one
There's a lot of people that take themselves really seriously, and it's because they're insecure. That's the reason why. It's pretty obvious. It's sad to see some people that, you know, they fall into that trap, but there's a lot of instances of that.
I can name that are at the top with Twitch with Hassan. Every single one of them at least, like, makes jokes about their appearance. Asmon talks about how he's bald and doesn't have any teeth. He leaves himself so exposed to being made fun of, and then he wonders why everybody makes fun of him. Like, just join in. It's part of being a human being.
Honestly, good luck, dude.
Thanks.
Wait, Crash, now you'd like to wipe the drool off his mouth.
People should...
He's like, he's like frothing.
Why are you frothing at the mouth like a bulldog?
All right, so then we got one of these Hassan orbiters, so a former booby streamer. This is this.
Oh man, dude, oh man. Okay, let's go.
This is Casey Tron.
Oh my god, I cannot stand this girl. This shoe on head girl, pick me woman.
Shoe on head and her dumb audience.
Her dumb audience of incels. Like, I don't know. It's like shoe on head. If you like care
isn't it crazy that like I remember whenever this girl was like pretty attractive and you know she was popular on Twitch, etc. And she's just evolved, and like we're about the same age too. Like, she's just evolved into one of these, like, middle-aged women that picks up a tabloid magazine on, like, at the grocery store and starts reading it and gossiping with the other middle-aged woman about what Kate Middleton is wearing. It's really crazy that, like, I've watched, like, this is my life. These are people that are my age, and they've turned into this. It's scary. It's really fucking scary.
Much about these incels, go one.
This is such a self-report for being a retarded whore. Like, I love the implication too that like Casey Tron thinks the only way you can truly care about men is if you have sex with them. Does this thought
I completely agree.
Process just come free with not having a father figure? Do I have to have unresolved daddy issues to comprehend this?
Is that problematic for me to say?
No, it's just retarded.
Like, prove you care so much about these incels and their inability to get sex. Go one. Oh wait, you won't? Because you're just grifting to them? Like, you don't even-
You know what? I agree with Casey Tron. Every girl that agrees with me politically has to have sex with me. This is, you know what? I never thought about this. This is a great opinion. I totally agree. Wow. Why didn't I think of this before? This is brilliant. Maybe I should start smoking weed for every meal of the day. Well, I guess for her, it must be 10 times.
Even want to get with them either. But you'll condemn other women for not wanting to who you don't want to Okay.
When did I ever condemn women for not wanting to fuck people? What is it? Hat on foot again. Hat on foot making YouTube videos from Earth 2 about how women owe men sex. What the fuck
really
is she
fantasizing?
Why is everything sex with these people too? Like everything is sex. You talk about the human desire to like create a family and have a legacy, and they're like, sorry you can't get laid, incel. Sorry you can't get pussy.
Says the chick that sits in her room all day and smokes weed until she's numb.
People. Are you being serious? Dog, what are you...
If you look up the...
By the way, this might not be something she'd want to hear, but that's what my mom did. That coughing that same way, she should stop that. She should stop doing that. There's not a good ending for this. Stop smoking cigarettes, stop smoking weed. It's really bad for you. It's just a little not so fun fact.
Dangers of smoking marijuana in like a Kids Dare pamphlet, there's just a picture of Casey Tron's face.
You're happily married and have a child, but because some fat retard on Twitter thinks you're a grifter, you're gonna need to a bunch of random men to prove them wrong. What do you just have to do? Like a weekly raffle? Pull a random incel out of how do you verify that one of your people
number 20?
Yeah.
I stand by what I said.
Like Bonnie Blue.
Shoe on Head should be thanking me for giving her and her incel following. Said it again, award! Said it again,
incel!
Award.
It's like a parrot, man.
What? Incel!
The reason why Casey Tron hates men is because men pick different women than Casey Tron. That's the reason why. She used to not feel this way, but then after men decided that there were other women that were more attractive and better worth watching, then she decided that she hated all men. It's just like what I've said, is that most people's viewpoints and ideology is actually just personal unresolved trauma.
you know Jafar from Disney?
Hassan is Jafar, and like
she's the parrot.
Sitting on there, she's like, rotten soul. He's like, good girl, yes, give it her a cracker.
Yeah, here's your cracker.
So once again, people in his chat bought up my video. He has not responded to it. He has not made a single point. Called me emo, called me irrelevant, you know, but he didn't call me wrong. Notice that.
They never call me
wrong. They call you emo, but they'll never call you wrong.
Did you see what Shuan had responded on Twitter? No. Also, what?
It's crazy to me. One of the things is like how much random pausing there is. I mean, I usually try to say stuff, right? I feel like in some cases I say too much. I do. Like I could just like sometimes just like shut the fuck up. I'll be right back. All right. Okay, sorry about that.
Who cares?
Dude, that laugh is killing me.
Guys, who cares? Bro, the fake laugh. What is going on?
What are you guys talking about, man?
What are you guys talking about?
Bro, I'm literally over here talking about how I'm doing a rally with someone who's running in Philadelphia.
I'm out here doing the revolution, okay? Like, that's cute, Hassan. That's adorable.
He's not a politician, man. The majority of the people that know your name only ever heard of you because you electrocuted your dog live on stream.
Kaya, please just fucking go.
No.
Just stop.
Isn't it crazy? It's already been over a year since this.
Does he not understand that?
I'm pretty sure it has, actually. Has it been a year? I think it's been a year.
Online Redditors, like, they don't give a fuck about your rally, bro, in the background over here. They want you to call Shuanhead a Nazi to validate their hatred and their feelings.
October 7th, October.
Shuanhead said.
It's the laugh again. No, you're joking. Stop.
Hassan is pissed because, like, he's finally out doing something in the real world, and the only thing people care about, the only thing people are talking about in regards to him online right now is this. And you know what? To be, like, completely fair, which is something these people would never do for me, this was a better response than his first response. He's basically just like, I don't care, I'm busy doing, like, real things in the real world. Okay, fair enough, understandable, have a nice day. But then, then he says this.
Talk to me when we got the wiki feed ratings up for Shuanhead. Okay, what's their wiki feed looking like? Okay, they
got the bro tips coming out again.
What's their
What is going on? Did I listen to what that woman said? No, absolutely not. Let me know if I can see her feet though.
What?
Weird thing to
Honestly,
say.
it would be Giga Chat if it came from anyone funny or likable.
Like, if the chatter didn't even bring it up, why did you bring up WikiFeed?
I know. By the way, if you guys don't know, WikiFeed is a website where people upload pictures of, like, celebrities' feet. Let's look up Hassan's foot
Oh my, no way. He's got his bare tootsies online.
Oh god.
Wait! I have a higher feet score than Hassan. Is this what this is about?
He's mad?
He's been foot-mogged.
By the way, never addressed anything you said, never even attempted to refute a point you made. Just starts going on about, like, WikiFeed.
If I sold feet pics, if I sold pictures of my feet, would he use this as an insult? No, because he's Mr. Sex Positive, Mr. Sex Work is Real Work, Mr. Brothel Boy.
Yeah, I'm making a difference, unlike Shu and her stupid video. Also, did you know she's stupid?
She's stupid, don't go watch the video. Don't go watch it, guys, she's stupid.
Also, her feet are kind of nice looking.
Oh my god.
The craziest part about all of this was after his crash out and, like, after everyone was making fun of him, he gets on Twitter and he's like, I've yet to watch any of her content. Excuse me? So what the f are you basing all of this on? How am I stupid? How do I change my politics? How am I just an emo girl that men fap to? Either A, he's lying and he has seen my content, or B, he's just blindly repeating things he's seen other people say about me. Either way, it's pathetic. He's stuck between, like, wanting to be above it all. Ugh, I don't even know who that is. I'm out here doing the revolution, and wanting to tear me down. But he can't do both. So as it stands right now, what he's saying is that he has literally never heard me speak. He just looked at me and went, woman online must be a whore.
Based?
which honestly, not a bad guess.
People should be more embarrassed, okay? What happened to shame?
Oh, wait. I find it incredibly ironic that the guy who used chain lightning on his dog live on stream in front of thousands of people and then lied about it and gaslit everybody thinks that anyone else needs to be embarrassed about anything. Like, you've spent your entire career, the better part of a decade plus, being a political commentator, but the only thing that the majority of the internet knows you for is zapping your dog for stepping off its 4 square foot cot that you've designated for it. That's your fucking legacy, Hassan.
Shot my dog, I can't stop. Yeah.
Like, obviously, he watched the video and something in it really had him rattled. Like, was it the brothel thing? Was it the clock meme? Because if it was the clock meme, that was a joke, okay? We're the same age, Hassan. It is not too late. This is all not that serious. I just thought it was really funny and everybody was asking for a response video. So there's your response video. I also just want to make it clear that if he responds, I will not be responding back unless it's something absolutely insane that requires a response. I refuse to get caught in the Hassan Piker content loop. I will leave that to the professional Hassan Piker farmers. There are people who have made diabolical wealth off of farming this guy, okay? I am but a humble culture war farmer. I am but a humble gender war farmer. And my crops are dying. I must get back to them. They're calling him the corniest man alive. The final boss of performative male feminism. The human Brian Griffin. This is like when like a hot girl has like a video game controller and she's like licking it. She's like,
yes, or like with the cat ears, the little headset with the cat ears. I love that there's not just one picture, it's 2 in different shots. So like, it's like, dude, can you just take a picture of me like holding it and then like putting it down on my lap?
Solemnly looking out the window.
My dog is literally just sitting next to me, staring at me. He knows I'm talking about Hassan. He knows, Kaya, I will save you.
Okay, Alana, thank you for joining me. You made it less painful to watch this shit, okay? I'm glad you were with me for this. Plug your stuff for everybody watching.
Follow me on Twitter, on Smugalana. Follow me on Twitch. I go live 5 days a week. Join my Discord. Lots of really nice people to hang out in there. Absolute pleasure, Kami Mommy. Emo girl with the feet.
Yes.
Jesus.
If you like this video, please subscribe. And if you can, donate to my Patreon. Link down below. I'm going to start doing live streams for Patreon members only. That should be a lot of fun, and I will see you guys next time with a new video. Bye.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. It's just, so much of this is just so stupid to me.
My name who owns the newspaper telling you that a refugee is the reason you can't get a GP appointment. They want you angry at the young men getting free iPads in the hotels that are putting them up.
New York has its own version of the UK's draconian Online Safety Act that's been pushing companies to require ID verification and face scans in order to use their services, except in New York, the version of the law that's being considered right now would also restrict in-game chat functions and voice chat by default without providing some form of ID or potentially a face scan. This would theoretically even restrict sending whispers in something like an MMO to another player if you haven't verified your identity, and we only need to get 1 or 2 generations deep into this before the youth of the future think you're the weird one if you don't upload your ID to use the internet, because they're going to grow up with this stuff and it's going to become normal, and that is terrifying. So somehow all the governments in the world have suddenly and instantaneously decided that being able to communicate with each other without proving who you are and uploading it to a private company somewhere, that's a problem. because I guess they don't want you talking to each other or something. This time, the bill is taking shape in the form of New York's Children's Online Safety Act. You know the bill isn't well thought out when they're stealing the name from across the pond and when they don't know how to use apostrophes. But that's okay, because the bill is also known as the Stop Online Predators Act. It's a choose-your-own-adventure where you get to choose the most effective propagandized title to get the most people to willingly give up their privacy and protections and data, including children or young adults, ironically, potentially giving up information that could jeopardize them in the future, and ideally when they're too young to realize the risks of doing things like face scans or uploading IDs to the internet. The bill says it's aimed at, quote, social fine detail with the city built of wireframe components for the heatsink, RAM, because let's be honest, it's the only place any of us can get any now, and cooling tubes, and we use a matching blue stitching for anti-fray with a blue rubber under to support our platforms to utilize certain default privacy settings for covered minors, and to require parental approval of certain activity related to a covered minor's covered platform account, end quote. As we stated in our PlayStation video, the words age verification, they're kind of a misnomer. We think identity verification is more appropriate for that because it allows authorities and private companies to feasibly track what you do on the internet and pin your ID in your face.
What do you do after you find out you're going blind? First, you get super depressed and feel like you've lost everything. Then you decide to lift weights. Next, you try wrestling, get your butt absolutely folded and kicked, developing eating disorder, which is not a recommended side quest, but you keep wrestling and start kicking some butt, and then kicking even more butt. Unfortunately, your vision is still getting worse, but they somehow let you throw this thing. I don't know if that was a great idea. At the end of high school, though, you're feeling pretty huge, but you decide to leave it all to serve people for 2 years. Then it's back to the gym. Your vision is still getting worse, but you have to continue to hoist and heave heavy loads because the only thing you feel you have. Then you meet the love of your life. Decide to marry her pretty fast, but get out of shape. She made a lot of really great food. And it's time to lock in again. Unfortunately, your vision just keeps getting worse and it's making you pretty sad.
You want to see a trick I learned?
Okay.
Watch this. See? And now it's diet.
To your computer. A lot of people don't realize your computer setup. I mean, I've got 3 monitors here that are 3 weird sizes. And that is effectively an ID for you on the internet. Websites can see that configuration. Tie that now to an actual ID. You've got some pretty valuable stuff. Of course, the government spins this all differently, stating that the purpose of the bill is, quote, to prevent the explosive growth of child predators on certain digital platforms by defaulting to certain privacy and security settings for child users, end quote. You know they're sincere because they capitalized the S in explosive randomly, just like they randomly dropped the apostrophe in the act's name. The bill says that, quote, all social media platforms under NY COSA would be required to turn off open chat functions, which allow adults to instantly and privately communicate with child users, whether or not they know such child or have been previously connected. Unconnected users would also be barred from viewing the profile of a child user, tagging them in a post, or sending them digital currency, end quote. The bill says that it, quote, requires them to turn off open chat functions by default for any user under the age of 18, unless a parent switches it back on. Adult users can only message child users if their friend request has been previously accepted, which, for users under the age of 13, will require parental approval, end quote. Now, that's all well and good. That's fine. Like, the framing it that way, that's not the problem that we think most people should have with this. The problem is the how we get there. Because, one, it's kind of technologically inept. You can bypass this stuff. But 2, this is requiring everybody else on the internet to upload an ID to use communication services. That's a scary future. And we're partway there already. But yeah, these bills, they get the one thing right, which is, yeah, it's important to protect the children, although seemingly, just as an aside, for some reason, we're not starting with the politicians and the government who pose a risk to them, but it's maybe a topic for a different different time. But the problem with this law, as with the others, is how they're going to verify the adults and verify the children, and how it poses a risk for all of those people. If enacted, the act would allow the New York Attorney General to pursue penalties of up to $5,000 per violation against covered platforms that fail to comply. This can amount to a lot overnight if they've got millions, or even billions in some cases, of users. Most platforms would quickly conform.
I can sort of sense what the problem.
Claimed that they could only hold companies, quote, liable if they have actual knowledge that a user is under the age of 13, end quote. But just to jump in here, my opinion is that you should lie about your birth date, even if you're not a minor, for something like buying a video game, because they don't need to know your exact date of birth. It's not relevant to them, and it's dangerous information to give out, even to Steam, because all of these services on the internet at some point, you have to assume they're going to be breached, and all that information is valuable. So something like insurance or government pages, sure, give them your birth date. They probably need it. But if it's just buying a video game or using YouTube to watch videos, personally, I use fake birth dates for that shit because it's just a risk to use real information everywhere for platforms that really don't require it. Again, unlike something like health insurance or something where it does require it. But anyway, this takes us to the 4 horsemen of verification. Facial verification, providing copies of your government-issued ID, phone verification, and credit card verification. Feeding sensitive information useful for identity theft into just a few large entities has never steered us wrong before, so apparently that's what we're going to keep doing. The bill goes beyond just social media platforms because they define these as, quote, digital platforms which host user-generated content, allow users to construct a public or semi-public profile, and allow users to directly message each other as a significant part of the provision of such platform, end quote. So anything that has profiles and messaging is considered a social media platform, kind of like how with routers that we covered on the GN channel talking about that ban, anything that can send and receive IP packets is a router. It's a wide definition.